Hit the button. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Johnny Bottles, coming to you from an undisclosed location. The man to my left. The man to my left. Ensconced in the ranting room at Stately Wayne Manor. Dr. Don Wayne, the neckbeard psychologist. You know him, you love him from Twitter. There he is, Don. Don, it's been a great day, Don. It's been a great day. All I could say is if you got quantum fiber in your house, get rid of it. That's all I can tell you. I'm doing this with a hotspot on my phone. That's why I'm in Guantanamo Bay. That's where I'm located right now. As Larry says, being waterboarded in Guantanamo Bay.
Well, I can tell you this much. It's been a hell of a week in the wrestling world. The crash out is real. The crash out is real. I have never seen such fake outrage in all my life as I'm seeing right now. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. So I guess we're just going to have to jump right into this, right? Like there's nowhere else to go with this because tomorrow night we're going to get it again and the crash out's going to continue. So I can't wait to watch that. By the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. Bottles Friday Night SmackDown last week saw the return of one Pat McAfee. He was the guy on the other end of that line that was talking to Randy Orton for all those weeks.
Makes sense.
Here's where it gets interesting. I didn't know they were doing the reveal on SmackDown last week because I haven't watched SmackDown, a full episode, in months because I find it to be so utterly uninteresting. It's just boring. The same shit every week. I just don't find it complete. I don't find it interesting. I just don't. I'm sorry.
It's
Triple H, you're not doing a good job.
It's like they've got one trick up their sleeve, and that for weeks was Cody and McIntyre for weeks, and Jacob Fatu, and they kept doing that into perpetuity. And the pull-apart brawl now is like their next big trick that they always throw out there. Denisha Lane, 1142, how you doing, Denisha, for $19.99? Thank you, honey. Hey, Don and Bottles, how are my two favorite men doing today? Just wanted to show my love. There we go.
Doing a lot better than Liv Morgan, I think. Jesus. We'll get to that in a little bit, too.
My favorite unicorn, Liv Morgan.
But yeah, there's just, SmackDown has just become, it's uninteresting to me as a wrestling fan. And Raw is very hit and miss. And we've been very open about this for months. It's very, when it's good, it's really good. But when it's just sort of laying there, it's not as bad or as uninteresting as SmackDown is to me. But it's just sort of there, right? It's just a filler for a Monday night.
And we say that to everybody. All you do is you complain about AEW. You complain about AEW. This is not right. You guys are just so biased. Kenny Omega's fantastic. Will Ospreay's a great wrestler. We call everybody out. We call everybody out. I've even said TNA. I can't watch TNA. There's nothing. I can't get invested in TNA outside of Mike Santana. I can't watch TNA. SmackDown, I could barely get through the show. I'll watch the beginning, and then I'll just sift through the middle, and there's a hot angle at the end. Raw, for weeks, like you've said, it was the same way. Hit or miss. Hit or miss. It's like,
but when it hits, you got to admit it's really good.
Right. NXT, have you seen NXT lately? Oof.
You know me, I don't watch all that.
They got to rebuild NXT, pal. They've taken them.
You keep saying that to me on the phone. You keep saying they've called it. Well, we said they got to call it the talent. I guess the problem was they didn't have any talent behind them to fill that talent they were calling up. So they need to get on the ball. Like that's what they need to do. Get on the damn ball. Get your guys. Get some people get some people ready for that stage.
I thought I kept saying to you on the phone, please send help. Please send help.
I do want to talk about this though because this is important. Pat McAfee, like I said, came out and. This is where it gets interesting because the dichotomy of the IWC is not reality. And I've said it a million times. It's a minority group of fans. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not my favorite thing ever. This wasn't my favorite segment ever. Right. I'm not saying Pat McAfee was the perfect guy to put in this position to be Randy Orton's backup. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is it got people talking. It got people interested. It got people like me that happen to see it on X at 9:30 at night go, oh shit, let me go check this out on my DVR real quick because it's going to be spoiled in the next 12 hours. I'll see it everywhere. And I watched it. I got news for you. Pat McAfee cut a hell of a promo. Pat McAfee did a hell of a job entertaining everybody. Pat McAfee did exactly what he was supposed to do, which was get heat on Randy Orton. Good, bad heat, indifferent heat. He cut a hell of a promo, in my opinion. Hell of a promo.
Now, let's peel back the layers of the onion. Backstage in the corporate world, whose idea was it to have Pat McAfee on SmackDown with Randy Orton?
Well, we're going to get to that real quick. Hold on. Glenn Taylor. Glenn, what's going on, buddy? Hey, guys. Great review of Y2J AEW return. Funny stuff. Oba could be the second coming of Hogan. Possibly. Thank you for the $25. Possibly. I'm not saying he's not. Possibly.
Second coming of Lesnar. He could be Black Lesnar.
I mean, you keep saying that.
Yes.
But
Oprah Femi is going to be a superstar.
And I get it. There's a lot of people that they don't like Pat McAfee personally, politically. But what you were saying is, who do you think is running? It's already been revealed. ESPN wanted to get him a job. They wanted to get him involved. They wanted to get him involved. That's where he was.
Ari Emanuel, the head of TKO, said, we need more Pat McAfee. Let's get Pat McAfee involved in this angle. He's the guy. He's the guy we can use. It came from Tip Top TKO, the head guy. And in an interview 4 months ago, back in January, Ari Emanuel said, Pat McAfee's got some big things planned. He's got a popular podcast, 2 million people a day listen to his podcast. He's doing 8 episodes of Tulsa King, that Sylvester Stallone show. What's it on Paramount Plus? He's doing 8 episodes of that as a bad guy. And we think Pat McAfee could be the next Sylvester Stallone. Wrap your head around that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm going down this, so I wanted to make sure. I'm going to make sure we're clear on this. Pat McAfee loves wrestling. Pat McAfee trained under old school wrestlers. Pat McAfee gets the business whether you like him or not, whether you like his politics or not. Pat McAfee, I think, and I want to hear what you think here, Bottles, is about the only guy that they could put in that role that has a wrestling background that would have fit in this time and age. You couldn't have put Kevin Owens in there because they'd have cheered the shit out of him. The entire point of this is they want the fans to boo Randy Orton, and they were cheering him. This got the fans to boo the shit out of him. This got the fans to say, no, man, no.
Okay. Obviously, we watched different shows because I went back this morning and rewatched SmackDown all over again. And when McAfee and Orton were walking away from the ring after what they did to Cody Rhodes, people were chanting, Randy, 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 Randy. The whole place was. So this experiment with Pat McAfee is getting off on the wrong foot right away. I don't mind him, Don, being in the ring. I don't mind him doing what he did Friday night because it's provocation. He's being provocative. He's stirring the pot, if you will. He's stirring things up on SmackDown, which is a good thing because it's a stagnant show. Stagnant show. As long as I don't have to listen to him at the commentary desk, I'm fine.
I will agree with you there. He does get a little bit overexcited on the commentary desk. I love watching him on game day. But back to the point here.
Yes.
If you don't like him, that's fine.
Right.
But that show that just aired on SmackDown on Friday night was the highest viewed show on SmackDown in 7 months. In 7 months.
What was
and
it,
you could say, well, they were
something like that.
1.51 million, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you could say, oh, well, they were tuning in to see who it was. Yes. And when they found out who it was, they didn't fucking leave. They didn't bail. They didn't go watch something else. They stayed and watched. That's my point.
Pal, they beat the cat piss out of Cody Rhodes. I mean,
yes, they did.
Just they beat that boy like an egg white. It was unbelievable. He was just whipped. I'm surprised he didn't blade.
I kind of was too, but I guess it's a little bit too early. You know what I mean? Like, you've got enough time to build that up because it's not over yet. Pat McAfee's coming back this week.
Did you see what he said in a diatribe on Twitter? He says he's promised a big surprise for tomorrow night. Big surprise.
I thought he said he's got a big surprise for WrestleMania.
No, for tomorrow night on SmackDown.
I thought he said WrestleMania. I'll have to check it out again. But yes, I saw where he said he's got a huge star that's big in wrestling and sports entertainment worldwide, and he's well known.
I don't know who that could be, but be that as it may. Be that as it may. I heard that.
Thank you again, Glenn.
I read that he had a big thing for tomorrow night. But anyway, that will gin up the ratings a little bit. That's a good thing. I like to see that.
I'm curious to see who the hell it's going to be. I'm dead ass curious who this could be. I really am.
Big star?
Mysterious Black, how you doing, buddy?
$2 from Mysterious Black. Salute, sir. Look, I'm saluting and I'm not even on camera. Thank you, Mysterious Black. 629, if that's your real name.
And I get it. The celebrity input has always been at Mania. It's always been there. I don't know that but they don't need any more. I'd agree there. Like this, stop now. Stop now.
The young kids on Twitter say, "Oh, there's too many celebrities at WrestleMania. They're taking away from the." Somebody posted a laundry list of people that aren't going to be on WrestleMania. But no, schmuck, they're going to be on the SmackDown in Vegas before WrestleMania, and they'll probably be doing promotional shit all day long at WrestleMania before the show. They're going to be doing all that. So it's not like they're not going to be active, like Otis and Tozawa. And all Otis, well, let me tell you, I can't see how they can't find anything for Otis. But they do say, The Undertaker did say, there are people there in the company who are wrestlers who don't stay to watch the whole show. They'd rather leave early when their shit's done so they can get back to their hotel. And I think Otis might be one of those guys.
That's not good. You think so?
Otis might be one of those guys. I think so. Because a guy like that, a power lifter, as strong as he is, every time he's on TV, the people love him. The caterpillar, that worm thing he does is fantastic. It's over his shit. But he can't get a push. He's always losing.
There's also some more news out there from good old Jim Ross, who apparently is back on his show and is
Are we done
losing
with
his shit. No. I'm not done. Let me just... Jim Ross says Pat McAfee doesn't know as much about pro wrestling as fans are led to believe. I enjoy McAfee's sense of humor, but I don't think he's smart as he'd like people to perceive he is. I don't know what the hell Jim Ross is talking about here. Can you help me out here a little bit?
I can help
What
you
is he
out here.
talking about?
Jim Ross is an old school guy who's been in the business since the late 70s. He's seen them all. He's seen them all come through. He's worked with everybody that was great in the business, from the Funks to the Mulligans to the DiBiase's to the Valiants to Eddie Graham and family. All those guys he worked with, Dusty. There we go. And Flair and all those guys. McAfee is an Attitude Era guy. He's an Attitude Era guy.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
He's not that old.
Hold on, Bottles.
Go ahead.
At what point has McAfee ever come off as trying to be the smart guy in the room or tried to be that guy? Did I miss something here? McAfee's always been a guy that just says, I love the business. I enjoy entertaining. Okay. I enjoy that aspect of it.
All right, hang on a second. You know the public persona, the public projection of McAfee. You don't know what he says to people off the cuff in a bar, backstage, on a podcast, things like that. You don't know. You don't know what his references of wrestling, his mindset on it. You don't know. How he talks backstage in private conversations.
When has Jim Ross ever fucking met Pat McAfee?
He's probably heard through other people.
Or maybe Jim Ross is just a bitter old ex-commentator. Maybe.
He's a bitter old ex-commentator who is, I would say, he's got a drinking problem. He's got a cancer problem.
I think he's got it down pretty good.
He's got a bag of Missy Hyatt or the drinking?
No, he's got the drinking down pretty good.
Oh, he does have that. Yes. And
I'm just saying, like, when I read this, I was like, come on, Jimmy, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that's knocking the new era.
He's not getting hired by WWE at all for anything, not even as a copy boy. He's happy he's still getting paid by Tony Khan to come in maybe 4 times a year and call a main event. That's it, or a pay-per-view, or a Dynamite. That's it. That's all he can do. And he's horrible at doing that now. The Jim Ross that we loved from the Attitude Era, from 1980s WCW and all that, even when he bled over into the WWE, he's gone, man. He's gone.
I thought it was, I didn't understand this comment. I didn't like it. Like, if you don't like the guy, that's one thing, but to knock him and say he's trying to come off as a smart guy, I've never seen that. I've never read that anywhere. I've never heard anybody that's worked with him come out and said anything bad about him when he was in wrestling. They've all said the same thing. Good guy, really a pleasure to be around. He did everything he could. That's what I hear about Pat McAfee.
All I can say is if he's always talking about the Attitude Era and this, like that, and blah, 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 maybe Ross frowned on that. Maybe he didn't like that. Maybe he thought McAfee didn't have a love for the old days, before McAfee was born. 40 years before McAfee was born. So,
That's not all Jim Ross had to say.
Oh,
Jim Ross says he has no doubt Vince McMahon will be involved in WrestleMania 42 creative.
No.
That's what the man said. He has no doubt.
No.
And who are you to doubt El Dandy?
Fucking El Dandy. El Dandy is in the chat.
Because
what?
Triple H had a interview this week on Cody Rhodes' podcast.
What do you want to talk about? It's called
where Triple H admitted that up until WrestleMania 40, that was his first show by himself without Vince McMahon actively helping him put it together as far as during the show. That was his first solo gig. Otherwise, he'd been on the phone with him the whole time for these shows, all these fake PLEs.
Sure. Vince sitting on the couch.
Fucking crazy.
Vince sitting on the couch in his condo watching Monday Night Raw. Probably got Triple H on FaceTime, sitting there with a hooer and a martini in his hand, saying, "Put Otis on. God damn it, pal. Get that girl off the TV. Jesus Christ." Okay. Don, you're frozen. I don't know whether it's me or you. Don lost power, guys. I just got a text from Don. He lost power. So anyway, Vince was the puppet master behind the scenes for a long, long time, and Triple H he had to let it slip in an interview with Cody Rhodes. Wait, but I got another text from Don. It's back. Don's coming back. So, thank you for looking at my baby picture here of me sucking on a Rolling Rock in my crib. It's fantastic. Anyway, going back to the moral of the story here. I listened to the interview. I listened to the podcast. And when he was introduced as CCO, Content Creative Officer, he says, "Yeah, I'm ballpark. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. Yeah, I'm one of them." He sounded a little blasé, a little bitter about the fact that once again, somebody from TKO is interfering with a WrestleMania. I almost called it Messelrania, a WrestleMania main event. So that's what we got, folks. We've got corporate interfering. We had Vince interfering for years. Who's really in charge? Is Vince talking to Triple H behind the scenes and text messages and midnight phone calls about, listen, you did it this way, you got to do it that way. You push, for God's sakes, bring McAfee in. Oh, Ari Emanuel said, we want McAfee in here. Yeah, bring McAfee in. He'll be the guy. He'll be the guy that we can count on. I just don't know. It's a publicly traded company, and they're owned by one of the most powerful companies in the world. I heard that UFC, WWE are valued at $20 billion. $20 billion. If someone wanted to buy them, $20 billion. Can you imagine that? So these guys have a hand in trying to maximize their profits. That's why the ticket sales are so high. That's why you see Little Yachty on your TV screen with Trick Williams. And there's going to be more. This week, you're going to see there's going to be more people, more celebrities rolling in. Jelly Roll is an example, no pun intended, for rolling in. But anybody wants a ride on the WrestleMania train for a week from now or a week and a half from now, they're going to get it. They're going to get it, and they're going to bring more eyes to the prize, more eyes to the spectacle of 42 in Las Vegas. Did they lower ticket prices? I'm not too sure. I'm waiting for Uncle Don to come back. He's got all that data. I'm just winging it right now. But I am going to go ahead and take a look in the chat to see what all you were chatting about. Don said so far from the Sunshine State. Yes, he did. All of a sudden, he lost power. He's scrambling right now to boot up his computer. I don't know whether it was a coup to depose Vince from the company. I mean, you've got Triple H. You've got wait a minute, I think I have something right now. Don says his internet is coming back. It's just trying to boot up. Here's from Denisha Lane. Bottles, do you see Super Chat? I'm on a wrestling train right now, and there are lower tickets for WrestleMania. So, there's Denisha's post right here. Don, SmackDown viewership went up. Pat's on the move. Yes, for $199. Thank you, Denisha, for that. I did not see that during all the chaos we've got with my internet issues and Don's internet issues, his power issues. But yeah, they lowered the tickets for WrestleMania. They said they were going to go ahead and do that, and they did. So, what can you do, folks? What can you do? It is what it is. They've got they want to have a sellout, and they're not going to get a sellout for both nights. I can tell you that right now. But I would say the second night, the Sunday night of WrestleMania, with the Punk and Reigns match, will be close to selling out. Not the first night though, but that night. And what else is on that? What else is on that second night, the Sunday night of Mania? Is that I know it's the Rhea Ripley. The Rhea Ripley match is on there versus Jade Cargill. Or is that Liv Morgan? They separated those two championship matches. I don't want to go ahead and open up a new tab on my browser because I'm on cellular right now through my computer. And if I open up a new tab on my browser or a new window, the shit's going to fall apart. So there's Don back.
It's all falling apart. Good God, Lily. Good God. When it rains, it pours, and bullets have no name.
Denisha said, and I'll put this back up on the Super. She's on a wrestling train right now, and there are lower tickets for WrestleMania. They dropped the prices.
Yes, well, we knew that was coming.
We dropped the price. And we were talking. I was just looking at the chat, some of the comments. Do you think it was a coup to depose Vince McMahon? They get all this out in the open. They leak the story to the Wall Street Journal. That's the media apparatus that took him down originally with the Janelle Grant lawsuit. What do you think?
I don't think it was a coup. I don't think anything like that. What happened was all this stuff got brought up in court, and it's open to the public, and somebody got a hold of those records, and they said, look, here's the text messages where Vince was still heavily involved in the creative decisions going on at WWE when he was supposedly on the outs.
Yeah.
Right? He's on the outs, but he's still doing this shit. So
absolutely.
I do want to talk. I do want to talk about
shoestrings. Chewing gum and duct tape, pal. Chewing gum and duct tape.
Dude,
you got to go on.
It's been a hell of a fucking day. I did want to say this much, though. Where the fuck is I did want to say this much. They've confirmed the night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania.
Hang on.
Nope.
How do I look?
Nope. No.
Looks bad? Looks bad?
Yeah.
Thanks, pal.
Night 1 of WrestleMania, the Women's Tag Title Championship match, Irresistible versus Bella Twins versus Charlotte and Alexa versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyrie. Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu in an unsanctioned match. Women's.
Hang on, buddy. The women's tag team 4-way, it might be a 3-way. And I'll tell you why, because Nikki Bella's unsure for Mania. She rolled her ankle. She's in a boot. She's doing therapy. She might not be back.
Bottles. Can I get what's been confirmed so far? What is on the card? Can I do that?
Carry on.
Women's Intercontinental Championship, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. iShow Speed, Logan Paul and Austin Theory versus LA Knight and the Usos. Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Women's World Championship, Stephanie Vacker versus Liv Morgan. WWE Undisputed Championship match, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. And they're saying that the men's 6-way is going to open night 1. Now, what were you saying about possible changes?
Nikki Bella is unconfirmed. They're taking it one day at a time because of the ankle injury. She's in therapy right now, doing a little PT and seeing how it goes. It's a day-to-day basis. They were going to save, if she couldn't get in there, they were going to put Asuka and Kairi Sane in the match instead of the Bellas. They were going to sub them in.
Night 2 looks like it's got a lot more meat on the bone for me. WWE IC ladder match with Penta, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rey Mysterio, and Rusev. And you and I have been talking about Rey Mysterio. I guess he's going to try to get in one more Mania before his retirement run because they didn't think he was going to be back at all for this show, right?
Exactly.
It's an interesting thing for me. U.S. champion Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. Dear God, can we get rid of the Sami Zayn shit? WWE Women's Championship, Jade versus Rhea. Go ahead.
You might see Carmelo Hayes added to that match. Sami Zayn.
I could see that.
Yes.
I could see that.
Yes. I'm thinking that you might see. Well, we'll go ahead. Just announce the rest of the night, and I'll tell you what I think.
The Demon Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi, which that will lead off night 2, believe it or not. And World Heavyweight Championship match, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns.
Brock comes in, does the job to Oprah Femi, and he flies to Canada or wherever he's going, back to the Midwest.
You think he's going to do the job?
I think he's going to do the job, put the guy over. I think it's going to be just a brawl, I think. I also think that we are going to see double turns in both nights. Double turns.
I don't think you're seeing double turns on both nights. I do think you're going to get a big turn, though.
I think you're going to see Sami Zayn turn heel and Trick Williams turns face.
Okay. Let's talk about Raw because it's on everybody's tongue right now. Everything that's going off, all of the injuries, all the crazy shit. We got to get to this.
All right. I wasn't saying anything. That's okay. Go ahead.
I thought you were done. I can't see you. What were you going to say at next?
I was going to say I think turn heel and Randy Orton turn face. And Cody Rhodes will walk out still with the championship.
I'm sort of there with you on that one. I'll be curious where that goes. I got a theory on it. I'm gonna wait and see what the next Friday Night SmackDown looks like, and then we'll go from there. Because we're only a week away come Friday from WrestleMania. We're a week away, pal.
A week away. That's it.
I'm a week away from seeing the best that I love. Yeah. Or at least this proximity of it.
Have they announced the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which you always have?
They haven't done that in years that I remember. They haven't put that on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And that's too bad because that was always fun for me to watch.
They put it on SmackDown, didn't they?
They might have last year, actually. Yeah, I think you're right there.
I think they did, yeah. They used to have it on the pre-show. When they did away with the pre-show and it's all talking now, they put that on there. Go ahead.
So we got to talk about the we got to talk about the Finn Balor Dominic Mysterio complete clusterfuck. I don't know what creative's doing in this, right? So Finn Balor's backstage on Raw this week, and he's talking directly to the camera, and he's telling Dominic Mysterio, "You've made me go to a place that I never thought I'd have to go to before. I didn't ever want to have to bring this side of me out again, but you brought back the demon," or something along those lines.
Yes.
And then they put the fucking poster out of Finn Balor as the Demon before he even shows up on Raw as the Demon. What the hell was that, man? What was that?
One hand not seeing what the other hand's doing. That's basically what that was. Miscommunication between departments. That's all. It happens all the time.
Yeah, but you can't make that big of a fuck up, man. I'm sorry. You just can't. That is a huge gimmick that fans of this guy adore. And you're just going to put it out there all nonchalantly off of a comment he made on Raw? Build the anticipation of the Demon's return. Nope, we're just going to, here you go. It's out of the can. I didn't get
got the wig and the face paint. There you go. He's got the wig and the body paint. Let's roll.
Yeah. And it's even on the card now announced, the Demon Finn Balor. So I don't know where that's going to go. There was an incident on this show where Stephanie Vacker came running in at Liv Morgan while she is an inch away from Roxanne Perez and whacked the piss out of Liv Morgan in the back. Whacked the piss out of her. Liv Morgan.
Fly needed a back or whatever it was, yeah.
Dude, Liv Morgan and Roxanne clanged heads like Stone Cold does beer cans. And I mean, as soon as it happened, you had to be like, oh shit, because you could hear it, right? Like that was the thing. You could hear the banging of the heads on TV immediately. Just smack it. And then she picked up Liv Morgan and smacked her face off the television like crazy. Wham!
And broke the screen. Broke the screen of
the broke the screen.
TV. Yes.
Liv Morgan goes and posts on her Instagram this fucking goose egg of a knot that's out there. It's just insanely huge. Insanely huge.
Horrible.
Immediately, Dave Meltzer's posting that she's in the concussion protocol, which it turns out it looks like she's completely fine. She was at a basketball game the other day. So I don't know where this guy gets his shit from, man. I just don't.
I think he dreams things up, pal. He said, he said the other girl was a concussion protocol too. They both were.
Yeah. And now they're both fine. So I don't know where he gets this shit. I bet he was willing to take a gamble and guess at it. But all these people that come out here talking this shit like they know what's going on, I get now why so many people from the wrestling business hate the fucking dirt sheets, man. They just make shit up. It's like, well, here's what I think's going on. I'm going to report on it as a fact.
I got something right now I got to report on. Listen to this. Dave Meltzer is currently in concussion protocol.
There you go. See? It's that easy.
That's it.
It's that easy.
It's that easy. He's in concussion
it takes
protocol.
Nothing.
That's why he's so fucked up to say everybody else is concussion protocol. I can't believe people pay him $14.99 a month for that.
He's still crashing out.
Folks, if you like our content, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Hit the little bell, the wriggling and the dingling for notifications. Go live whenever we have a pop-up. Our description is linked for Buy Me a Coffee, where you can just go ahead and contribute to the show, buy us a coffee, $1, $2, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to throw up there on the Buy Me a Coffee website, because YouTube does take a big chunk of what you guys put up for Super Chats. A big chunk. So I wanted to cover this too. Buy Me a Coffee.
I wanted to go to this too as well. So we were talking about McAfee, and I was going to talk about this before we got out of it, but a WrestleVotes radio on Fightful said that the WWE went right back to the drawing board over McAfee. They're starting over. And they understood the fans were upset, and they're starting over again. They're going to have a whole new place to go right now. Where do they get this shit, Bottles?
Well,
where do they get this
he
shit?
Signed up. WrestleVotes is signed up with Fightful. That just tells you everything right there. When he was just an account on Twitter, it was a different story. But now he's hooked up with Fightful because he must know somebody in the wrestling business and gets all his info. So, who's this?
And we got to talk about this because this was the main course for WWE Raw. The Roman Reigns CM Punk promo continues. This time it was CM Punk. And he came out there and he delivered a hell of a promo, man. I tipped my cap to him. Some of the shit he said, it blew my mind. This is what he said. This is the part that really got me. He said, I always love to hear about the old timers. Never miss a chance to do it. I can't help but compare myself against them and wonder exactly how would they operate today. In times like this, sometimes I dream, what would Harley Race do? Well, I'll tell you what, CM Punkster. What I wouldn't do is call myself the world heavyweight champion if some other son of a bitch is calling himself the universal champion. That's the problem with this show. You got too many damn champions running around calling each other champ. It's a bunch of bullshit. You have one champ, and that's it. Now, if I were you, I'd go kick the shit out of that spoiled brat Cody Rhodes and take his title. That's what Harley Race would say.
That's what Harley Race would say. It's a mechanical crutch that they came up with because Roman Reigns had an abbreviated schedule because of his bouts with fighting off leukemia and other things in his contract, stuff like that. And also before him, Lesnar would hardly ever appear. He'd come in once every 2 months as a champion. So they had to have another belt. You can only milk that.
Now you get this bullshit. I told that motherfucker take it away from him.
I tell you what, I like having my camera off.
Why is that?
Nice. I trim my toenails. I'm sitting here with naked from the waist down.
All right, now you're getting weird. CM Punk kept going, and he says, Roman Reigns hates me, and I say good because if Roman hates me, that tells me I'm exactly where I need to be. Fraud-checking goofs like him who hate me because I won't trade away my authenticity for approval. Dude, he went all in on this shit. I give him credit. He cut a hell of a promo. Now, what's funny about this is that I hate to use the term marks, but there were people that were like, oh my God, did you see that? That was a shoot, bro. That wasn't a work. That was a total shoot. They can cut the mic off anytime they want, people. They can cut it off anytime they want.
Right.
Anytime.
Right. And they send people after the ring, say, you got to go. Come on, let's go. You got to go.
He said, being hated by losers is the price I pay for not being one of them. Maybe Romans will show up. I doubt it, but maybe. What are you going to be mad at me because he didn't show up? Because they started booing then. And I was like, he's getting this shit on. Like, he had a great promo. He even went at Pat McAfee, which is part of this bullshit story that hit from the Fightful people. They said, that wasn't originally supposed to be in the promo, but they had to change it on the fly and add it in there. No, I'm sorry. You knew this was coming. I knew this was coming.
Well,
Pat McAfee's fair game for any big-time champion in the show right now.
What they did say was, not Fightful, of course, but from reputable sources, and there's not that many out there, they did say that Punk had an outline of what to say. He had bullet points. They wrote a script, and he distilled it down to bullet points and went off on his own tangent.
Yeah, that's called professional wrestling.
Yes.
That's called technical wrestling. I mean,
like in the old days where you can cut a promo. You can cut a promo, a soliloquy in front of the crowd, just like Flair used to, just like Dusty used to, just like DiBiase and Mulligan used to, just like Barry Windham and all those guys used to. You just throw it out there. You knew what
he took shots at The Rock.
You knew what you had to get over. Yep.
He said he went off to be a Hollywood star. Well, he was a Hollywood star. He took shots at Vince McMahon. He didn't mention him directly, but he said, you let a crazy old man feed you dog food. And I took my dignity and left. He cut a hell of a promo here.
He did.
I don't know what else to say about it. I'm looking forward to this. This is my second most anticipated match on this card, to be honest. This is the match I'm looking forward to the second most by far. And both the matches, that's what I was going to say for the matches.
You're looking forward to
the one I want. Say what?
What are the top two matches you're looking forward to? Randy and Cody.
They're both on the same night. They're both on night 2. No, it's Brock and fucking the Big Black Bull. Are you kidding me?
Oh, okay.
I want to see Obafemi and Brock. That's my number one match I want to see because it ain't going to go 20 minutes.
No, it's going to go 10 minutes, and Brock will put him over.
Oprah
Femi will be known as the guy who destroyed Brock Lesnar. And Brock will take his $2 million payday for WrestleMania and jump on his private and fly back to where he came from, happy as a clam. That's why he's on first on night 2. The women's matches, Don. How are they split up? Is Liv Morgan on night 2 or night 1?
Liv Morgan is on night 1.
Okay. Then Ripley is on night 2. Okay.
I believe so. I'd have to go back.
I know
and
they're
look,
on
but
different
closed
nights.
that
I
tab.
just didn't know what the sequence was. Okay.
I'm really looking forward to this. I cannot wait for that. That's the one match where I got bells on. I will have a seat at bell time. I'll tell you that much. So that was the Raw show.
Really,
I thought it was really good.
They accomplished what they wanted to do. They're getting WrestleMania over. They're stirring up interest in the last minute for WrestleMania.
Right.
On both shows. Can't wait to see what happens tomorrow night.
I will be watching tomorrow night. I absolutely will be. I'm going to come home, watch the Masters, maybe take a little cat nap on the couch. I'm going to watch all of Raw. I'm SmackDown again. Can't believe I'm going to be doing this, but I got to see what happens next. I got to see it, good, bad, or indifferent. Got to see it.
Right. I know when you get off of here, you're going to go right and watch TNA on AMC. See what's going on in TNA land.
Bro, when I get off of here, I'm going to bed. Let that be known now. I've had a hell of a week just like you have. We're going to talk about AEW here in just a second, but we got to remember to talk about the Dave Meltzer meltdown that has occurred because Tony Khan went on another podcast.
Whose podcast was that, Don?
He was on Jonathan Coachman's and Vince Russo's podcast, so I guess we could talk about it now. Apparently there's some controversy there too because they edited their show and they took out part of that show where he might have said something controversial. Nobody remembers what it was though, so I guess it couldn't have been too bad. But Dave Meltzer lost his shit, man. Like he's been tweeting nonstop about this all week, and I don't understand why.
He's a jilted lover.
He said something of the effects of Jonathan Coachman talking about doesn't know the ins and the outs of the wrestling business or something to that effect, correct?
No.
Well, what did he say then?
He did say that. I'm just saying that, Jonathan Coachman doesn't know the ins and outs of the wrestling business. Jonathan Coachman was not ensconced in the wrestling business like Russo was. Look, he went to ESPN. Then he went back to WWE for, a hiccup. And left. So
I'm going to say this.
Russo, we know why these guys had Tony Khan on their podcast because they want to work for AEW. You can't tell me Russo doesn't work for AEW. He wants
Take it easy,
to
Mr.
get in
Nobody.
the wrestling business. He wants to get back in the wrestling business so fucking bad that he could taste it. He could taste the blood in his mouth from biting his tongue every time he thinks about getting fired twice from WWE. Did you know he was a consultant after WCW shut down? He was hired as a consultant just to watch the shows and send emails on what he thought of the shows. And Stephanie McMahon was head of at the time, and she was head of creative at this brief period. Shut that shit down real quick and told her to fire Russo.
From what I heard,
twice.
From what I heard, he wasn't on the payroll. He was trying to get a job, and she said, "Thanks for the input, but no thanks." I sort of remember that story from years ago.
He claims they were paying him per.
I've heard that
he
they were
watched.
not. I've heard that they were not paying him.
But then it's a wrestling business, so what's really the truth? It's a wrestling business. Who the fuck knows? But Russo wants back in so bad. That's why he took the job with Juggalo Championship Wrestling. Because he wants to be back in booking, showing people that he's still got it. And what does he do? He makes himself the lead character on
Right away,
JCW.
again.
Right away. Juggalo Championship Wrestling. He's the general manager. He's the lead writer. He is the main character of that show. He's got main character syndrome. And that's
But hold on.
Go ahead.
I get that you're going in on Vince Russo, but here's my heartburn. Dave Meltzer telling Jonathan Coachman that he doesn't know how the wrestling business works is fucking laughable.
Years. He was there.
He literally worked in the wrestling business. He was in the company. Dave Meltzer writes about other companies. He's got no skin in the game. He can say whatever he wants. Coachman was in the door. He knew what was going on. He knows how it works. So whether you like him or not, or you're a jilted lover because you couldn't get your boyfriend on your show, whatever your fucking problem is, the one thing you can't say about Jonathan Coachman is he doesn't know how the ins and outs of the wrestling business works because he was there for years. So shut the hell up with that nonsense.
And he was well-liked in the WWE. He was well-liked by the McMahon family. Have you heard about the rib that Vince played on Coachman?
I've heard of a few. Which one you got?
He had one where he was doing it was a horse race. It might have been the Kentucky Derby. He was doing a Kentucky Derby betting pool where, people throw money in and they write down the number of the horse in the hat, throw it in a pot, and whoever's horse is drawn, whoever's horse wins the pot. And Vince, he knew guys on the Hartford, Connecticut Police Department. He got 2 cops to come to Titan Towers to look for Coachman. And he said, "We don't understand you're running an illegal betting operation going on here, illegal gambling operation." What? They had him in cuffs, walking him out the door before Vince came out. Said, "All right, let him go." And everybody's laughing their fucking asses off. And
except Coachman, who's sweating bullets.
And probably urinated on himself.
That's pretty good. That's a good rib. That's a good rib.
That's it. Coachman even said that in an interview a long time ago. But just imagine the stories these people have on Vince McMahon. Somebody could actually write a book about all the crazy shit. You all right?
We're going to have to talk about AEW now. Last night, AEW distributed 3,760 tickets in a 20,000-seat arena.
Yeah, they had the lights turned up quite a bit.
20,000. Let that sink in with 3,700 people in attendance. Are you shitting me?
Well, I will say this. I watched Stand and Deliver, the NXT show, Saturday night on YouTube. And
on purpose?
On purpose, yes. And they had the first 3 rows were all filled up all the way around. And just the back of that arena, empty. Hard time.
This show opens up with Ocean Spray beating on Moxley in a parking garage when Footloose comes out of fucking nowhere and single-handedly pulls him off of Jon Moxley because apparently she's China now. What are we doing here already? What are we doing here? Oh, what are we doing here? Ocean Spray then gets jumped immediately by the Cracker Clan, and then an SUV pulls up, and some chick named Alex Windsor gets out.
That's his fiance.
I know. Don't care. Irrelevant. She sucks. Did you see the goofy, tough girl walk she did? Did you see that goofy shit?
I saw all of that, Don. I watched the whole sequence.
When I tell you it was cringe as shit, I can't put over the word cringe high enough. It was cringe. She literally had every bad C movie from the 80s tough guy walk as she stood beside her fiance and then did this. And I said, wow, this is going to get worse. This is going to get worse before it gets better. I was right. Because they started doing monkey flips and bouncing off of cars and doing all kinds of dumb shit in the back. Out of nowhere, fucking Footloose, Alex, Ocean Spray, Moxley, they all come railing through the curtains and get in the ring, where they all proceed to kick the shit out of each other. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know who these people are that showed up with her, because there was a group of guys with her. I think they're called the United Vampires, and they're going to face the Cracker Clan later on in this show for the main event. The Cracker Clan and the United Vampires are facing off. Fuck me to tears.
United Vampires. They're Brits. They're, once again, is rating New Japan Pro Wrestling of all their top talent. He's got the heavyweight champion of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
I think his name was Blake Cullum on this show. Backing up
Blake
Ospreay.
Cullum.
Whatever. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Does that guy got? Well, that's where he got his name. Does that guy got a book date yet? I don't know. Cullum.
All I know is it started out hot as far as I was concerned. I actually like the parking lot in the parking garage. I actually like that. I said they're doing something different. God damn it, they're doing something different. And it was like 10 minutes in the parking garage. Made its way out to the ring, and that's where it all fell to shit when it made its way out to the ring.
I timed this.
Moves.
I timed this. This was so painful. I timed this. It was 6 minutes. 6 minutes of pure hell I couldn't get out of. This thing felt like it went on for an hour. The whole segment went 6 minutes.
Well, it was something different. Something different to see. And in modern AEW times, anything different on the show that will engage a viewer and say, wait a minute, what's going on here? It's something to talk about.
I contemplated running through my front plate glass door. I contemplated it hard at this point in time. I said, I've got an hour and 55 minutes left of this shit. No, I'm wrong, because this shit went over by like 25 minutes. This was never ending.
Would you rather seen Orange Cassidy versus the Beast Mortoast?
Oh, no, we got that later.
Seen that. No, you didn't see that, but
we got him, though. We got him.
All I can say, it was something different, and I enjoyed the fact that it was something different, something that kept me entertained. That's all I could say. One thing I didn't like was the fact that a guy who just had neck surgery took all these moves, every single move to this guy was to his neck. Shafir was yanking that boy's neck around like a slippery doorknob that she of a bathroom she couldn't get out of. That's what it was like, just jerking on it. And pile drivers, suplexes to this kid on the back of his neck. It was ridiculous. You got a guy in one of the biggest matches of his career versus Moxley coming up Sunday, and he's going through all this bullshit on a Wednesday before the show, before the big show. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Don Callis says Kyle Fletcher has officially jacked up his leg and he's got to forfeit his TNT title. We said fat ass Mark Davis took him out. We meant it. We knew it was bad. I think it's a high ankle sprain. If you know anything about that, those things can take months to heal. It's not something that's going to heal overnight. Sometimes you even have to have surgery on those bad boys. Hidley, if you didn't hear me, buddy, I said hello and good morning. Don Callis says there's going to be a 6-man tag match now because we don't get enough of those on a weekly basis. We don't get enough of those in AEW. Good God. He says it's going to be My Three Goose versus Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, and some other jackwagon I couldn't give a shit about. Darby comes out like a bohemian and just slams himself into everything on the way to the ring. Why is he even in the match? He's just beating himself into furniture. Did you see this absolute goof? He literally ran into the barricade. Then he ran into the apron. Then he ran into the post in the ring. What was this guy trying to accomplish?
He's trying to do his imitation of a tennis shoe in a dryer. That's what he's trying to do. It's ridiculous. It's cringeworthy. It's ridiculous. Darby Allin needs to go away. I don't want to see him on my TV at all for the next 3 or 4 months.
Years. Bandito is the other goof, it turns out. So we get Takeshita coming out without his belt again. Takeshita's allegedly the New Japan TV champion, but he ain't got a belt. So I don't know what the hell's going on there. I don't get that.
Dude, him and Andrade wear masks, top of the ramp. Cool-looking masks. But they take them off when they walk 2 steps through the curtain. They take the mask off and then walk down to the ring. It makes no sense. Asuka in the other company, she wears that shit until she gets up to the top turnbuckle. Then she takes it off.
And it looks great.
And it looks great. I don't know why they do what they do.
So now we're going to get that.
I don't know why they do what they do.
We're getting Takeshita, Andrade, and fat-ass Mark Davis. And we're only 13 minutes in. And I said, this is going to be long now, pal. This is a hard watch. Andrade walks away. Darby gets on the microphone and he says this. I'm not exaggerating. This is what he said. Stop being a little bitch. Stop being a little bitch. He said it twice. It's like you couldn't figure out another insult. It was so. You mentioned it to me last night. This shit was horrible.
Horrible. Don't hand microphones to these guys if they can't improv, if they can't do a promo. Do not hand microphones to Darby Allin. Guys like that. Guys like Kenny Omega. Oh, we'll talk about that later. Darby Allin should not have a microphone in his hand unless it's a pre-tape backstage where you can edit that shit behind the scenes. It's awful. What's next
Of
for
course,
Darby
this
Allin?
was.
Bite
of
the
course-
head off a chicken,
he's gonna-
swallow glass, set himself on fire.
Jump from altitude in space.
Yes, and land on fat-ass Mark Davis.
Fat ass Mark Davis.
Because how could you miss?
Darby, of course, gets jumped by the team. They throw him back in the ring. Andrade poses with an only whore. I said, here we go again. Same shit, different week.
Whoa. Only who?
I said, it's fast forward time. I can't do this. Callis's team wins. Darby gets back in the ring, gets knocked down. They go for Jack Perry, and the Bucks come running in and literally super kick 23 people out of the ring. Just left, right, and center. I said, okay, we're back to the same bullshit with these guys. Okada comes down to save Takeshita from getting beat up, and then they end up fighting each other. And I just said, what the fuck are we doing in this company, man? What are we doing in this company? They literally, the teammates start fighting each other, and then the little rascals come down, and they get involved in this shit show.
They're out of purgatory?
I guess.
They're out of Ring of Honor purgatory? Good God almighty.
And I wrote down, is Russo booking this already? Because this looked like his shit. Do you hear what I'm saying? There were like 5 separate run-ins at the end of this match. And none of it made any sense in any way.
It's AEW. This is what they do.
I don't get this new little rascals group, but whatever. I guess it ain't for me.
The little fucking rascal.
It ain't for me, pal. That's all I can say.
Little rascal. Well, you know, they thought they had a great thing going, and they dumped their boy in TNA. Oh, wow, he can't come with us? Oh, okay. All right, then sorry about your luck, pal. And they came over to AEW, and they did one match on Dynamite, and where they wind up? Corrision. And they went from Corrision to Ring of Honor, and they've been there ever since, where a show no one watches. Now, all of a sudden, they're on Dynamite. Fancy that.
Some chick interviews some guy named Dr. Sampson. Hello, Incredible Hulk has entered the chat to say he wasn't happy MJF talked about Kitty's bubble guts and fucked off.
What was this about? Why even have this on the show?
Not a clue. I have no idea what this was supposed to accomplish. He just fucked right off. I don't get this, man.
Where's Doc Sampson? I don't know. He was talking to Lexi Nair, and he just fucked right off.
He really did.
With Lexi Nair? No, he fucked off right off by himself. If you could go down the hallway and catch him, make a left, you might see him fucking right off.
I don't get it. Abdullah Oblongata was back. She was facing Willow. Fast forward, Willow wins.
Painful.
I wasn't watching this shit. Thank God I was 20 minutes behind. I was not watching this. I just wasn't.
It was awful. Willow tried, but Aminata, she was hurt bad, and it would look like she might not come back with that back injury she had or whatever it was. And she, if I cared about it that much, I would have looked it up. But she was fucked up for a long time, and she didn't think she was coming back. And no one ever called her. No one even called her to see how she was doing. She posted on Twitter. No one from the company called to check on her.
And then the second worst segment of the night happened.
And
Disco
Queen
Barbie
Aminata
comes walking
just
to the
fucked
ring.
Right off.
Nope, Disco Barbie comes walking to the ring, if you didn't hear me. Nope, that's Chris Jericho and Disco Barbie boots. Did you see the fucking boots?
I didn't really notice.
Oh my God, how he had bedazzled the shit out of these things.
Really?
It looked like a 7th grade girl got a hold of my phone and was like, fuck it, watch this.
Bedazzled?
Them bitches were bedazzled to no end. I couldn't believe he was wearing this shit. They were heels.
Well, of course, it's Jericho. He's got to be taller. The fucking guy's only, 5'5"? 5'6"?
Bedazzle me.
Bedazzled.
Bedazzle. Bootsy Collins says, Mark, I'm telling you, these things were fucking awful. They took away from everything. They started showing him from the waist up. They wouldn't show his boots because they kept glittering in the camera. Like it was winking at it. Shit.
You all right there?
Yeah, I'm having some problems. Technical difficulties persist throughout the... Fuck you!
Jesus Christ. I'm sitting here with a cell phone hooked up to my PC so I can just get my voice when you got all kinds of shit going on.
Okay. Chris Jericho Boots says he's home and he's going to sign his contract, and he gives his version of the rah-rah balding buck speech. Love it here. It's the best company. This is all for you guys.
Dax Harwood's backstage with a tear in his eye.
I said, okay.
A little wet spot formed on the front of Dax Harwood's trunks. He was so excited.
It's all right. Let's go ahead and end this, sign the contract. Nope. We are not that lucky because out comes Ping Pong and the Damned. And he's going to get all up in this shit. And boy, did he ever. And Ping Pong gets in the ring and says he has the worst promo I've ever heard him have. And it's bad. He tells Canada sucks. I'm from Las Vegas. Who gives a shit where you're from, dude? No one gives a shit where you're from. This is the lowest hanging fruit denominator of a wrestling show. And Mick Foley used to make fun of that shit. How are you doing out here, St. Louis?
Yes, he did. And it was monotone, no enunciation on anything, on any words, any phrases, just monotone and that nasal high-pitched voice of his. It was just the shits. Just the shits.
You want to know something?
What's that?
It got worse.
I was there, pal. I saw it. Yeah.
Because Jericho knows this segment is drowning. He's been around long enough to know when it's going sideways. And what does he do? He pours gas on this shit show of an awful, awful segment. Ping Pong takes off his hat, and Chris Jericho's response is, wow, you're really bald. Jericho kept showing off his abs. He had his pants about as low as he could get. I don't know what this was supposed to accomplish. The only good thing that came out of this was he said, you just made the list, and he brought his list back. The last great idea he had, he brought back.
From 10 years ago.
From 10 years ago.
Thank you for stopping by and visiting us from 2016. Now go grab Doc Brown and jump into the DeLorean and head on back.
He then left.
I'm just trying to figure out why Ricochet is that be his first opponent? Is he going to put together a six-man? He's going to have put together is to grab two more guys to take over Ricochet and demand. What's going to happen with this? I don't understand this at all. It's just
I'm just glad
we're trying to.
I'm just glad he left. I'm just glad he left.
It's like you're looking at the drawings of a mental patient in an insane asylum and trying to figure out what do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? I just don't get it, Pat. I don't get it.
Come on, I want to lay it is
pop
with
when
Don
he said
Callis.
You just made the list. Come on.
That was the best part. That's what I'm saying. Come on, I want to lay it is with Don Callis. Callis says a lot of words, but the one thing that I noticed, Takeshita doesn't look like he's working out anymore. A year ago, the guy looked phenomenal. He's got the size is leaving. You can tell he's not working out as much. He's not nearly as big as he was. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who this come on, I want to lay a chick is, but she was all over the show.
Maybe he's off the gas because he's trying to have a baby with his wife. It happened to Triple H. Triple H got off the gas.
I don't know, dude, but something, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
Kamani Watalea. Are you trying to insinuate Lexi Nair is...
Is that who she is? Lexi Nairlegs? Is that her name?
Lexi Nairlegs, yes. Lexi Nairlegs is the fiance of Bill. Big Cass, the former Big Cass from WWE. She's Diamond Dallas Page's stepdaughter. And she met Big Bill when Big Bill was all fucked up on alcohol, and he went to Diamond Dallas Page's place, the accountability crib, to dry out. And he lived with Page for like 2 months. And Lexi Nair, what am I saying? Lexi Nair would come down the steps in the morning and see Big Bill doing yoga with Diamond Dallas Page. Ooh, look at him. Oh. Anyway, I digress. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, Don.
Okada says, I am the Michael Jordan of this group. So I guess we got basketball breaking out. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Ciampa comes out. Great intro. Ciampa's got a great intro. He really does. It's amazing.
He's a good wrestler. He's only 5'5".
He's fighting some guy called Maybelline. I don't know who he is, but Ciampa wins. You all right? He beat Maybelline. That's all I know.
Mascara Dorada is his name.
Yeah, mascara. That's what I said. Maybelline.
Yes, Maybelline.
Yeah, Maybelline. This guy is related to Bill Moskos, I think.
What the fuck is this show turned? What is just? And then the evening went spiraling downward.
The Dogs cut a promo in the back where they have already beat the shit out of Orange Cassidy and some other guy. This sucked.
Lay it on the floor.
I don't care if I see this. Yeah.
Nobody wants to see the
Next.
Dogs, pal.
We get the Nair chick with the tickler cutting a promo, who then says on camera, I will take your mother Dorothy Mantooth out for a nice steak dinner, and I will never call her again.
Didn't she also say, I'll take you to the strip and break your ankles and your fingers?
That's what she said after. If you get the Dorothy Mantooth, good for you. If you don't, watch more movies. Watch Anchorman. What she actually said was, she said, I will take you to the strip club, drag you on the stage, and break your fingers if you mention that chick again. Then says she's going to kill Jamie Hayter. I don't know what this was, but I immediately thought of Dorothy Mantooth. This shit went wild. Right out the window. And
what's the rumor going around?
And unnamed critic, I believe that's his Twitter account, correct?
Unpaid critic,
sorry, yes. Unpaid critic said, he said, rumor has it, or word has it, that Tickler was drunk backstage and people are completely incensed with her and they're mad as hell, according to Dave Meltzer at 1. And the fucking people ran with it. It's already on Google. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. This guy proved you can just make shit up and cite Dave Meltzer and people will run with it.
I had to go and verify through Gemini and Grok, and they both said, you saw what I sent you. They both said it's all bullshit.
Yes.
Meltzer never posted anything like that.
Well, I told you that because I knew you were going to be one of the guys that saw that. We're like, wait, what? Copeland and Christian come out. Where's the Hooters mom? Where's she gone to?
She's on Ring of Honor with her son and Kip Sabian.
Oh, is that where they are now?
That's all falling apart. That's all falling apart, pal. That's all falling apart. He's no longer tied to them.
I know that, but where'd she go? Like, I enjoyed seeing her on TV. If she turned real fast, she'd knock your ass out.
She's probably gone up his leg several times. That's where she's gone.
And I got to say this, right? My wife looked up at the TV last night because she recognizes Edge from WWE Day. She never watches this shit, though. But she looked up and said, God, he's really looking old. And he did, Bottles. He looked every bit of his age last night on that show. He really did.
They both looked like shit last night. They both looked old. They looked like you remember the Smith brothers who used to be on the cough drops?
Yes.
The old guys with the long beards. They
yes.
look like they're training for ZZ Top. That's what they look like with the beard.
She's got legs. She knows how to use them.
I just don't understand it. Don't understand it.
Anyway,
did you hear they already booked his retirement match? October.
Who's?
Edge's.
Who's he,
There's
pal?
a pay-per-view.
Edge. Okay.
Yeah. Copeland. There's a pay-per-view,
for
an
him.
AEW pay-per-view in October where he's going to have his retirement match. It's already been done. It's already set in
Good.
stone. He's done.
Good for him.
And MJF did a podcast interview saying, we're not like the other company, WWE, where everybody's old over there, and we're.
I know, and
then
they're celebrating signing Chris or Ed or fucking Chris Jericho back. Yeah,
right. And
fucked.
Edge and Christian and the Hurt Syndicate and everybody who's 50, they've got in this company. What the fuck? And
anyway, I thought
Copeland 41 years old.
I thought Copeland and Edge, or Copeland and Christian, cut good promos. I thought they did a good job. Out comes FTR, and then the Message Boys from a week ago kicked the shit out of Edge and Christian from behind. So that's how that thing ended. Darby Allin says he's afraid to be the face of AEW, and I said, fuck this, fast forward.
So am I. I'm afraid for him to be the face of AEW, because who wants to see that?
We get this 6-man tag match with the IWGP champ, and I don't know him. I don't give a shit. The Cracker Clan comes out. Moxley's not carrying his belt. I am fast-forwarding this shit. We got tables out everywhere. I don't know what's going on. Some dick cheese overshoots a table outside of the damn match, goes right over the table. I don't know what this guy was doing.
It was awful. And all these moves, again, still to Ospreay's neck. I just can't wrap my head around it. I cannot. We'll put you in a 6-man. That way, you're not going to get beat up that much. And
unless you overshoot the fucking table.
Right. Unless you got the woman on your back trying to choke you out constantly in this match. Jesus Christ almighty. Let's just fast forward verbally through this. What came after this debacle?
Ocean Spray won.
What came after this debacle? They beat up Ocean Spray for a while after this match was over.
Kenny Omega comes down to the ring wearing a suit.
Why was he wearing a suit, Don?
It's kind of weird, right? It's kind of weird. He's suddenly wearing a suit, and he's not sitting there with no shirt and workout shorts, dressed for battle, in the go position. Really weird that he's in a suit all of a sudden. I don't remember the last time I saw him dressed in anything other than a Thunderfuck t-shirt. I don't know what this guy's doing. But he proceeds to bore the absolute shit out of me for the next 15 minutes. It's I'm telling you guys and gals, this thing wouldn't end.
This
thing
guy,
wouldn't end.
It was a cure for insomnia. If you can't sleep at night, just play the last 15 minutes of AEW Dynamite, because the show had an overrun. The show had an overrun. You know how long that overrun was? We talked about it.
It was like 25 minutes.
25 minutes. This show ran past 10 o'clock. It went off the air at 10:25. And it was just shit. It was the shits. Nothing good, just the shits. If you're the biggest AEW fan out there, Donald ducking it across your basement, drinking Mountain Dew and eating Cheetos, you can't tell me. You cannot tell me.
You can't defend this.
You can't defend this at all. You cannot defend this at all. The guy who's in one of the most high-profile matches, arguably the biggest star in the company, Ospreay, getting his neck yanked and jacked up and ratcheted all around the ring, all around the outside of the ring for 15 minutes. And then this 15-minute shit show where Kenny Omega is talking and he's putting dead people to sleep. That's how bad it was.
I wrote down, I'd rather watch paint dry. This was so painful. I don't know where he was going. I don't know what points he was trying to make. It just bored the shit out of me to no end. MJF came down into the ring and tried to save this. He tried everything he could, but you're not saving this one. This fucking thing was in the ditch and was on fire. If this was a NASCAR race, you would have heard this. I put her in the wall. That's it. He put it in the wall.
That's it. It was horrible. Horrible.
Their pay-per-view is Sunday, Bottles. It's Sunday.
Oh, I know it is.
This was your go-home Dynamite. This was your go-home Dynamite. I don't know what we're doing here, folks. I don't know. I really don't know.
It started off hot, I think, with that.
Hated it.
And it ground to a screeching halt with the Kenny Omega promo with MJF. He took the ring that MJF knocks people out with. The ring that he won.
Yes, he did at the end.
One casino battle royal. He took the ring off of him and put it on his finger. And did he walk away with the ring? He made a big show out of taking the ring, the secret weapon from MJF. And he dropped it right back down on MJF's chest. Why? It made no sense. Then again, none of this shit makes any sense. None of it made sense. Is the tickler a drunk? Find out.
No, she's not a drunk.
Find out tonight on Collision. Is Kenny Omega have narcolepsy? Find out on Collision. Is MJF?
I'm going to take your mother, Dorothy Mantooth, out for a nice steak dinner and never call her again.
There you go.
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
The tickler.
Oh, if you haven't seen Anchorman, folks, you're missing out. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. Until next time, we're going to have internet. We're going to have power. We'll see you next week.
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.